I was really glad to hear Tim talking a lot more about public sector. That's where I come from. I've been in the public sector for 9 years, but I was with consulting, in the consulting industry for 15 before that. But as a public sector person, and certainly in Canada, I suspect the same is true in the United States, is that we're having to deal with very high expectations from the public and being able to respond to the public. We are public service delivery organizations. And in order to do that, there's cultural change that has to happen at public sector agencies. We need the rock stars that Michael was talking about. We need the people who are willing to make changes to how we do our business and to challenge the bureaucratic policies and processes and the endless maze of bureaucracy. So my challenge is probably what Tim's challenge has been. How do you get those people attracted to the organization, who are willing to put in the effort, who can really make a difference, and finding creative ways to provide some perks that maybe aren't, pay raises as bonuses and all of that, but providing support and going to conferences and getting involved. I don't know if you have any comments about that. We're looking for really good people. I have been very fortunate to find people. I want to keep them around, and I need some ways to do that.
And for those who don't know, she's in Toronto, so if you're looking for a job, she's got them.
We have an $8.2 billion LRT project coming online in the next couple of years. So LRT transit people.
Now, is that US or Canadian billion?
Actually, it's
yeah, and it's worth more than that. Yeah,
about
yeah,
9
million
US.
American. I know it used to be the other way around. Now it's not. So that's even more money when you start thinking about it.
And actually, we do have a lot of American construction folks, and even some of the traffic engineers and designers actually are involved in the projects we're working on right now.
Very good. Anybody in the audience want to talk about that, or Tim?
Well, Joanna, a couple things that I found that helped is that one was I tried to keep our staff informed of what was going on, the big picture within the city government. Because what I observed was, as I'd go to meetings with other departments and I'd talk to staff from other departments, there was a dearth of information that they just didn't understand how they fit into the bigger picture. And so I always try to make a point when I come back from a staff meeting or conduct mine, I'd say, okay, here's what's going on and here's why we're doing this and all that, and we'd talk about it. I also tried to check in with our folks on a regular basis, just to say, how are things going and whatever. And we were very fortunate. We had a lot of long-term employees. So we probably had the least turnover in my department than anyone in the city. And frankly, I can't really tell you exactly why that occurred, but I think whatever we were doing, we were at least having a work environment that people liked to be in. We suffered the same problems. We had people going through divorces. We had people with monetary issues and upside down in their mortgages and everything else. But you just kind of have to check in, talk with folks, and hopefully try as best you can to create that environment that they at least want to be in.
Well, Tim, I think one of the things that I've read some things about this is people feel good in an organization where they feel everybody else has their back. Mm-hmm. In other words, we're in it for our comrades. We're in it because I want to see them succeed. I want them to help me succeed. We're not stuck in that. And in the organizations I think that are successful, there is this real sense of camaraderie. There is this sense that we are trying to achieve something together. And when you create that kind of environment, that's the kind of environment, and you want to do something. It's like Joanna says, I don't know anybody that grows up wanting to be a bureaucrat, or just shuffle paper or just keep things from being done. I mean, I think I got into engineering because I wanted to go do stuff, right? I think that when we create organizations in the public sector that really do things, and people are seeing that they're making a difference in their community or their state or the agency or the region that they work in, then that's very attractive to them. And to the extent that you can create that environment where you're doing something, not always keeping somebody else from doing something, that's a positive environment.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually would talk to my staff periodically and say, look, as the manager, if there are arrows out there, I'm the one that should get the arrow first. I'll take the arrows, I'll take the hits. And I think that the staff appreciate that. They do feel like their back is covered, but you got to live up to that. You got to do it.